Secretary will close the board and announce the vote.
Mr. President, on suspending the rules to allow for the reconsideration vote, there are 22 aye votes and 0 no votes.
A sufficient number of members voted to suspend the rules, so the rules are suspended. Majority Floor Leader Cropsey.
I move to reconsider the vote by which House Bill 4610 passed.
Without objection, we're going to put that on the board too. All those in favor of reconsidering the vote by which House Bill 4610 passed will please signify by voting aye. Those opposed, nay. Secretary will open the board. The yeas and nays have been requested. All those in favor of the yeas and nays will vote aye. Those opposed, nay. The Secretary will open the board. Secretary will close the board and announce the vote.
Mr. President, on the yeas and nays, there are 14 aye votes.
A sufficient number of members voted for the yeas and nays. They are ordered. Once again, all those in favor of reconsidering House Bill 4610, vote aye. Those opposed, nay. This is a record roll call vote, so you can't change your vote right at the end. Secretary will announce the vote.
Mr. President, on reconsidering the vote by which House Bill 4610 was passed, by record roll call vote, there are 37 aye votes, 0 no votes, and 1 excused.
The vote will be reconsidered.
Mr. President, item number 9 on the calendar is House Bill 4610, a bill to amend the Natural Resources and Environmental Protection Act. Senator Brown is offering a substitute S-4. It is amendment number 1, and it is available on the chamber automation system.
The question is on the Brown substitute, and speaking to that substitute will be the Honorable Senator Cameron Brown. Senator Brown.
Thank you, Mr. President. House Bill 4610 is a companion bill to Senate Bill 578, Michigan's right to ride legislation. We ask for the vote to be reconsidered today in order to adopt some clarifying amendments which the Department of Natural Resources and Environment and the administration requested. The legislation requires the department to use a transparent, documented, and science-based process when making decisions on where horse riders can ride on public lands. The legislation also requires the department to develop a network of trails for all user groups in Michigan. More than a month ago, the department made a last-effort attempt to delay the bill's enactment by asking many of you to withhold votes for immediate effect. They argued that Michigan would supposedly lose $25 million in federal funds if the bill were to pass. While I believe this argument had been proven to be an empty excuse many times over, we have continued our negotiations and agreed upon some adjustments to make the administration and department more comfortable with the bills while still ensuring the bill maintains the people's right to ride. This legislation represents a compromise with all parties involved. House Bill 4610 and Senate Bill 578 will provide the department with the control it needs to make decisions about pack and saddle animal access and other recreational activities allowed on public lands. And it will give the people a voice in this decision process and hold the department accountable for its decisions. I ask for your support of the right to ride legislation and ask for my remarks to be printed in the journal. Thank you.
Without objection, Senator Brown's remarks will be printed in the journal. Speaking also to House Bill 4610 is the Honorable Chair of the Finance Committee, Senator Nancy Cassis.
Thank you very much, Mr. President and Senate colleagues. I have a number of individuals who really take great pleasure in the opportunity to ride their horses on public property. I also have individuals who at times could be concerned, the private owners just adjacent to those public lands. And my hope is that in all of this process with the DNR, it is a DNR, is it not, that there is sensitivity to the needs of private owners that abut the public properties. That is my hope, and I will be voting, as I did originally, in favor of this, but I may withhold immediate effect to be sure that my concern on behalf of those who are the private owners, their concerns are respected as well. Thank you very much.
The question is on the Brown substitute to House Bill 4610. All those in favor will vote aye. Those opposed, nay. The Secretary will open the board. Secretary will close the board and announce the vote.
Mr. President, on the Brown substitute, there are 30 aye votes.
A sufficient number of members voted for the Brown substitute, which is adopted. Senator Cassis would like her remarks printed in the Journal. Without objection, so ordered.
Mr. President, there are no further amendments pending to the final passage of House Bill 4610.
The question is then on the final passage of House Bill 4610. Secretary will open the board. Seeing that all members present have voted, without objection, the Secretary will close the board and announce the vote.
Mr. President, on the final passage of House Bill 4610, there are 37 aye votes, 0 no votes, and 1 excused.
A majority of members elected and serving having voted in favor of the final passage of House Bill 4610, it's passed.
Mr. President, Senator Brown offers a title amendment to the bill.
Without objection, we'll agree to the title amendment.
Mr. President, Mr. President, there's a motion for immediate effect.
Question is on immediate effect. The Secretary will open the board. Madam Secretary, please close the board and announce the vote.
Mr. President, on immediate effect for House Bill 4610, there are 27 aye votes.
A sufficient number of members elected and serving voted for immediate effect. Immediate effect is granted.